G'day, this is Cybersecurity Tip number 37 from Daniel here at Vertec IT Services. Today I'm going to go on a bit more about internal fraud, right, because it's a particular subject dear to my heart. Over in the States, it's been a big survey. If you're a small or medium-sized business, less than 100 seats, you're exponentially more likely to be a victim of internal fraud of some kind, right? And now we're talking about an average rip-off level of $200,000. All right, now those are US figures, but I think they map pretty well across what I've seen in New Zealand looking at the news events and that's going on. Now, 27% of SMBs fall victim, and the average time length is that the crime occurs over is 36 months, okay? Now, we know three things from that are required for an order for an internal fraudster to do what they do, okay? One, they got to have opportunity. Two, they got to have motive. And three, rationalisation, okay? Now, you have only got control over one of these things, all right? And that is opportunity, all right? You can restrict the opportunity and prevent it from tempting people who would otherwise be honest, yeah? And you can also put in place processes that simply make it much more difficult for somebody to even contemplate it, all right? Some of the things that we can look at doing there are, and it really does start with the HR process, right? Making sure that you put thorough checks in place, whether it's police checks, background checks, qualification checks, making sure you've actually spoken to the managers and the owners of the businesses that they've been working for. Now, especially to be careful of, right? If you're a small company and you have had somebody who's been in a highly trusted position for years, now it might be your wife who's always done the books, right? And then you're finally at some point going to hand over that trusted position to an external person who is yet to earn that trust, yet you put more trust in them than they have actually earned, all right? So that's a key point for a company that's growing and experiencing some rapid growth. You need to put some processes in place. Now, where IT comes into it is that we can provide systems that are auditable, that can provide you traceable and evidential freezes on accounts that you might need, right? And these are things that happen after the fact, but they can also, we can help with making sure that, talking to you about your processes and making sure that you've separated out the person who enters the bills versus the person who pays the bills. Now, that's quite easy, but lots of people just don't quite get that. Now, other things that we could do is like set up like an evidential hotline, all right? Not an evidential hotline, a company hotline for ethical reporting. So if somebody else in your business spots somebody doing something wrong, and it just might be somebody ripping off a customer or doing something that they feel is not quite right, then you can have that in place, and we can provide that for people quite easily so that, you can get a tip-off, because 29% of all fraud detection actually comes because of a tip-off. And it really does make it, because you might not see it, because you're too close to the problem. Step back a bit, you get some other information from somebody else, and you look at it from a different angle and go, maybe that's not right. Those are some ideas that you can use and take out into your business that might help you in the future. Cheers.